Hi guys, it's another episode of Love, Sex, Lies, and Reality. Today it's all about the things that people don't tell us about life, what we weren't told, and why we find ourselves in murky waters sometimes, navigating in ways where we either lose ourselves or we discover who we are. And with social media on the rise, a lot of people tend to lose themselves more because it's about mirroring. One of the things that we've all learned from childhood is to mirror what we see, what we're observing, the people around us, and trying to also create role models that sometimes take us off our journey because we're not trying to be them or become who they are and what they display in life. But that may not necessarily be your journey, and you may be getting lost in somebody else's life. And so today, let's kind of look at why do we all get lost in life at some point. Right from when we were born, we started seeking the attention and the affection from our caregivers. And when we don't get the affection and attention, because at the early age we don't yet understand our emotions, it becomes where doubt starts to kick in. Doubt kicks in, fear kicks in, and you start thinking there is something wrong with you. It may also be you watching unhealthy relationships, and that will be from the caregivers around you or from the people around you, and you're thinking maybe you're the cause of everything that's going on, not really realizing that is the journey of the caregivers, not necessarily yours. Again, coupled with lack of understanding of the emotions, and with all that going on in the background, you also get less attention and affection, and you may hold back from communicating due to doubt and fear again. And so that goes on. And I've documented all this in my book, Being Single. That goes on for a while, and then you start to really look to find connections with either friends as a young adult or a teenager that you can get the attention and affection from, that you're not receiving from the environment you're growing up in. And as that goes on, you get into friendships that also challenge you to explore either positive way of life or negative way of life, where you begin to rebel if it's negative. And the positive side, you begin to really challenge yourself and have the willingness to learn more things. The other side, the negative side, if you venture into the negative exploits at a young age, what you discover is sometimes you're questioning why you're doing things. And that's because you're a bit consciously aware of the things you're doing. But when you're now being forced, because those people that provide you the attention and affection that you need, when they're now persuading you to go with the negative aspect of life, what happens is you lose yourself and you start to get into that separation anxiety stage of, should I do this? If I don't do this, then I'm going to lose the people that I think are my friends. Or if I don't do this, then I will lose the attention and affection that I think I need, but it's a want in that moment because you're not discovering yourself. So that goes on. They may venture out of your life at the point maybe you graduate high school, or some of them get in trouble and the friendship falls apart, and then you develop another set of connection and continue to seek the affection and attention, and your life may either go spiral down or it may get to a crossroad where you're now at a battle, internal battle with yourself. Or on the other hand, it may go to where you're like meeting people that are challenging you to become better, and that leads you to question all the negative things you venture into and now make you become inquisitive enough to want to be better. So those three aspects happen in the course of the journey of life as a young adult. But if you venture into the left side of the negative consequences, the pain you suffer becomes much more, and that may lead you to become more numb to yourself in a way where you're not exploring. If you venture into the positive side and you have people challenging you, sometimes you may get to a point where the challenge becomes overwhelming and you quit them and you find another group and you get lost. Then you will be at the crossroads, not knowing where to go. If you venture all the way to the right with people that make you become consciously aware and push you to become better, you will drop the old connections that you have and really want to become better with yourself. And you want to make sure that every aspect of your life is being touched at that point. So you explore and discover and begin the journey of self-discovery and self-mastery. That's a good aspect of moving forward with finding yourself. But on the other hand, let's talk about the other two scenarios. The first one, where you venture into more negative areas of life and you wonder and doubt and continue to do negative things, and you can't find yourself making wise choices, and you're not even questioning, but you're running on emotions. At that point, anybody that says positive things to you seem to be your enemy, and you find yourself really not wanting to listen. For the ones in the middle that are crossroads, you're going to someday feel like going forward and finding the new path to discovering yourself. Some days will be like, I'm used to these old ways, so let me stay with the old. But reality is you can't put new wine into old wineskin. So you become stuck in life at that point. What we're not taught is how to get out of the murky waters. Because if we're not getting out of the murky waters, we're going to stay in survival mode. We're going to develop habits and patterns and behaviors that are taking us on the negative path. And we're going to find ourselves struggling. That's at the point where some people get into addiction. Sexual addiction, drug addiction, food addiction, gambling addiction, different addictions, because it's a survival mode to numb whatever is going on. And that doesn't even help them get better. And there's no judgment here. I'm playing it out in a way to help you understand what happens in life's journey. And so for the two negative ones, you have to come to a point where you say, where am I with myself? Is my life worthy of living when I'm being granted every single day by God the life and breath and the opportunity to discover who I am? And during the negative experiences, there are a lot of narratives created. We tell ourselves the stories, and we keep finding more excuses to narrate the stories. And we keep creating narratives that just make us feel shameful and guilty sometimes of the choices we're making. I got to cover up. I got to put on more layers. I got to conceal my face, put on the makeup and dress up and fake it and make it and keep up with the Joneses who don't really care. But at some point, you have to come to sit with yourself and ask, if I'm being granted life and breath every day, am I worthy of it? And if God sees me worthy of it, what can I do to change it? Because there's always opportunities for change every single day. And I don't know who needs this, because this wasn't a topic I was even preparing for today. But I had to drop this. And so you look at it and say, I'm stuck. I may be in this relationship, I may be in multiple relationships, I may be tying my soul to different people just to wing it, just to get what I want, to keep me going in survival mode. But is that the life you truly deserve? And the lies they tell us is everything we see on social media. It's great. The celebs are having it easy. And so we start to mirror them. Oh, this person is doing fantastic. You start to mirror them. But it's not your life. Your life is what you need to sit with. Your life is what you need to examine. Your life is what you need to discover. Because your journey is yours and yours alone. And we meet people in life's journey to bring us an awakening. They're not meant to deplete us. But when we allow ourselves to go in and allow them to trash our home, then they deplete us. But we have to come to the realization that we own our journey. It was handed to you. Nobody came into the world with you the 9 months period you were in the belly. That was all you and your maker doing all the work that you need to evolve from that little embryo into the baby that came out. The caregivers are there to help us navigate, but if the caregivers don't know how to navigate life, we can't blame them because they also did not know. And so the more we gain a conscious awareness and we start to commit to ourselves, the more we see we own our journey. We are responsible and accountable for what the life that we've been handed. So today, my challenge to you is if you find yourself going on the negative side of life, take a pause, sit down with yourself and ask, is the gift of life that you've been granted worthy of you exploring the opportunities before you? Or is it just another day that you want to waste to get lost in life? Because nobody can make us get lost in life except we choose that path. Let me say that again. No one can make us get lost in life except we choose that path. And reality is that even if we're looking for a partner to help us navigate the murky waters of life, we may end up attracting the people that we are, because we haven't learned to navigate that murky water ourselves. And if you're not discovering yourself and you're shifting blame on a partner who may not have it together, then you have to check yourself and say, am I worthy of the life that I'm giving? Am I discovering my paths, the right paths set before me? Am I being accountable and responsible for my own life? Am I allowing things to happen to me and creating narratives from the things that are happening without really sitting down and exploring what choices I'm making? Am I making wise choices? Am I setting myself up for self-sabotage or for success? Because there is greatness in each one of us. And as we navigate the murky waters of life, we have to come to a place where we're truthful and honest with ourselves. I've had to work that journey myself, and people ask me all the time when I'm coaching, is it easy? The truth is, it's not an easy journey. It's very tough. You're either going to get up and say, I want to get to do the work, or you're going to say, I'm going to quit on myself. But winners don't quit. And quitters don't win. Let me say that again. Winners don't quit. And quitters don't win. But if you're winning the gift of life, then you must not quit on yourself. You must push yourself enough to where you're discovering yourself. And you have to take every negative story and look for what is positive in it. Is this narrative you are creating true? Is it helping you move forward? Is it keeping you stagnant? Is it taking you 10 steps backward? Who else is being impacted by this? Or are you just creating stories that are putting you in a place of hurt and trauma, and you're waking up with sweats, insomnia, anxiety, depression, whatever name you call it, and your nervous system is constantly being broken down, then getting better? Are you sleeping enough? Are you peaceful within? Is it chaotic every day? What lies are you telling yourself? Those are some of the questions you need to start asking if you really want to know the truth about life. Yeah, nobody tells us these things, but it is our responsibility to own this journey. And I've had to walk this journey starting 14 years ago, and now help other people to walk this journey. I found myself in relationships that I was losing myself. And I had to come to a point where I said, after 19 years of being married, I need to find myself. I can't stop living a lie. I can't stop losing myself. I wasn't created to be depleted. I was born with and in love to become the love that I need for myself first, so that I can attract the love that will complement me. And as I found that journey, I wrote 4 books during the process: Love, Sex, Lies, and Reality, Being Single, Beyond the Pain, and On Becoming Restored, and began coaching other people. And I can tell you the journey is not easy. But every single day that I'm granted breath and life, I look for opportunities and endless possibilities. And you can also do the same. Nobody tells us that life is a journey of discovery. Nobody tells us it's not easy to navigate the murky waters. Nobody tells us that the romance we're seeking has to start with us first. Nobody tells us that we need to discover ourselves. But here we are, every day trying to survive when we were created to thrive. And so today I'm challenging you to take a pause and examine yourself, whether you're a teenager struggling and trying to find love outside of yourself, whether you're an adult and you're still struggling to find love within yourself, whether you are married and your marriage feels like it's a single life and you're wondering how did you get there, whether you're in a relationship or just had a heartbreak and you feel like your world is falling apart, whether you're finding a job where you just feel like you're being put in a dungeon and you feel like you don't want to get up and go again, whether you're struggling with any addiction or you're finding yourself in places where you don't belong, whether you're at crossroads and you don't know how to go on, whether your parents are divorced and it's affecting your life in a way where you are not sure why you're here, take a pause and ask yourself, what can I do to make my life better? How am I willing to commit to the journey of self-discovery and find myself? Am I going to get the support that I need, or am I going to continue to create narratives as excuses that will never yield the results I'm looking for? Nobody has the power to change your life except you. So today, I'm challenging you to start to explore your life while you're still here. Nobody has the guarantee given for tomorrow or even the next nanosecond. So you have to look at where you are and say, is this where you really need to be? Not wants, because wants are temporary. They only satisfy the craving in the moment. After that, they're based on feelings and emotions that expire. After those expire, you're going to have another want. But when you're discovering what you need and you start to meet those needs, you start to feel fulfilled. You start to walk the journey of wholeness. And as you attain wholeness, you realize until you're whole, people will make you half. But once you know your wholeness and you identify your core values and you create the criteria that helps you stay intact with your integrity and who you were created to be and become, then you start to vet people that you allow in your life in a way where you're only creating meaningful and purposeful relationships that are healthy and going to help you evolve. And your circle will get smaller, and that's okay. So today I'm challenging you to examine everything that I've discussed and discover yourself, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And this moment is a moment of change that if you're looking to change your life for the better, not the better, you have to start now. And you start by committing to being real with yourself, to understand that your journey is yours and yours alone, to understand that if you're not happy, nobody else can make you happy. Happiness begins with you, and it starts with you doing the work. And the more you do the work, the more you learn to navigate the murky waters of life and turn every step of every obstacle into stepping stones towards your own greatness and growth. And you realize life is indeed a gift, not to be taken for granted, but to be discovered while you're still breathing and living. Remember to never stop loving while living. When you stop loving, you stop living. When you stop living, it means it's time to go back to the maker. But while you're still here, make life easy for yourself, because life is indeed easy, not difficult. Until next time, talk to you all soon. Take good care. God bless. Bye-bye.